Hi y'all, this is the Oklahoma Grammy. Today I'm going to be making you Papa's Baked Ziti. I have already prepared my meat. It's 1 pound of hamburger meat, chopped up really good, and it calls for 1 small onion. Well, my 5-year-old does not like onion, and my 1.5-year-old doesn't like onion, so I took and used 2 tablespoons of onion powder. What we need to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees. We have a 9 by 13 pan that needs to be buttered. We have 1 pound of ziti that I've already made, and 2 cans of pasta sauce, 1/8 ounce container of sour cream. You're going to want to get the sliced provolone cheese, and you're going to want to get a package of shredded Italian style cheese. Okay, it's got mozzarella, provolone, and everything that you can see in there. And we're going to use, it calls for shredded Parmesan. Well, we're going to use the shaky cheese, the one that comes in the bottle. And what we're going to do there is we're probably going to use about 4 tablespoons. Okay, so if you want to stay with me and come along, we're going to go over to my stove right now, and we're going to finish the pasta sauce, which is the meat, and we're going to put the pasta sauce inside of that, and we're going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes. So I hope you stay with me. So I have you in my kitchen with me now, and we're going to put the pasta sauce into the pan with the meat. And we're going to stir it up, and we're just going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes. And I put the, whenever I was cooking this, one thing that is not in here is salt and pepper. So I'm going to get that and put that in here too. Always make sure that you season your pastas, your meats, and all of that. Because sometimes recipes don't tell you to do it, and then it just doesn't taste good. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here. It doesn't need a lot. And here's our shaky cheese, our Parmesan. It's already grated, so we don't have to worry about it. And we're going to use this at the very end. This has been on for about, I want to say 6 to 7 minutes. Make sure you stir this often, that way it doesn't stick. And taste your sauce and make sure that you have plenty of seasoning to it and everything. This is gonna splatter if you don't keep stirring it. So make sure you have enough seasoning to your liking is what I'm trying to say. So now that I have the meat mixture ready, I'm going to take you back over and we're going to assemble it in the pan. Now this tells us to take and use half of the ziti and put it in the bottom of the pan. So let me get the ziti to come undone. Okay. And then it tells us to use half of the mixture. Make sure we get all of our ziti covered. Okay, and then I'm going to add just a little bit more here. Then it tells us to take, I'm going to open these up. It tells us to take our provolone sliced cheeses and to put it over the top of the meat mixture. So this is what we're going to do. Some's a little bit thicker pieces than others, so I want to make sure. So I'm going to use 9 slices in this pan, like this. Then it tells us to take and put the sour cream in. So we're going to put our sour cream in. Now, the original recipe calls for 1 pound of pasta. It calls for 1.5 cups of sour cream. Well, I only have 1 cup, so that's what I'm using. It calls for the 2 cans of the pasta sauce. It calls for 6 ounces of provolone cheese, which is between 6 and 9 pieces. Depends on how much you want to use. You know, it calls for 1 chopped onion. Well, like I said, my grandbabies don't really like onions, so I just use the onion powder. They seem to be able to eat that okay. And it wants you to use 4 tablespoons of grated Parmesan. And you're going to use the mozzarella. And they want 6 ounces of this. And it says you to put the butter in the bottom of the pan, half of the ziti, the provolone cheese, the sour cream, and the mixture. Well, I kind of messed that up. And put the mozzarella cheese on it, which is what we're doing. I got some of it backwards, but you know, it's okay. It's all good. Okay, now that we have this, it tells us to take the remaining ziti and put it on the top. My ziti kind of got cold and wants to stick together, but that's okay. We'll work it. Okay. I'm going to use my hands because I use them a lot. Okay. Let's get the rest of this in here. Okay, now that we have this, it's telling us to use the remaining meat mixture. So we're going to put this over the top. And then it tells us to take the grated Parmesan or the grated Parmesan. You can grate it yourself. You can get some from the store. But we're going to use this because this is what I have. And what we're going to do is we're going to shake it over the top. It doesn't take much of this, so. And it tells us to put this in the oven at 350 degrees, and we're going to cook it for 35 minutes. So I'm going to put it in the oven now. Our ziti pasta, Papa Ziti pasta, is now done. This tastes absolutely wonderful. As you can see, it's cheesy and it tastes really, really good. And this is Papa's Baked Ziti. If you like my recipe or Papa's recipe, please take and give my video a like, and please share it out for others to see. It really helps my YouTube videos to grow on YouTube, and I would really appreciate it. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye.